Before we get started, gather your materials. You'll need a couple of pipe cleaners or something to write with and something to write on, like pencil and paper. See you in a minute. Hello, and welcome to Using Visual Literacies to Understand Our World from the Evanston Arts Center. I'm Dr. Claire Donovan-Skane from CDS Literacies, and over the next few videos, we are going to be working together to understand even more about the world by paying close attention to the ways that authors, artists, illustrators, and designers use images and text together to help us understand even more about what they're trying to teach us. They use visual literacies. Now, visual literacies are always at play, so it's a really good thing to learn more about so we can understand and use them ourselves. But before we dig into those specific tools, let's have a little bit of fun and get to know each other using a visual tool, like a pipe cleaner. So watch me as I show you what I mean. I want to know more about you, so I'm going to introduce myself first, and I hope you can get to know me a little bit through my visual representation. So let me think about a symbol I could use to tell you more about me. Well, over the last few months, I have been growing a lot and understanding how to learn online. So some days I feel like I have a lot to learn, and other days I feel like I learned a lot. And that kind of growth makes me puts me a bit in mind of a flower. So a visual representation for you to know a little bit more about me right now in my life, the way I am right now, is to think about a flower. So I'm going to bend my pipe cleaner into my best representation of myself now. So if you really knew about me, you'd know that I love learning and I love to grow, sort of like this flower. If you don't have a pipe cleaner, feel free to use a pen or a pencil and paper to give me a really quick drawing of a representation of you that would tell us a little bit more. Once you have that, feel free to join us on our shared Padlet. We can't wait to meet you. So pause the video now, take 2 or 3 minutes to make some kind of visual representation of yourself and tell a friend, or share it with us on our Padlet. See you soon. Welcome back. So as we were saying, visual literacies really help the ability for us to construct meaning from images, like how my flower tells you a little bit about my growth as a learner. So with that in mind, we can think of different ways we can look at art, at books, and at our world, to really tapping into how those visual images help us better understand the author's meaning. What are you excited to do with visual literacies? Friends who I've worked with before have said that they are really excited to know more about what the author thinks. Other people have been excited to notice clues they didn't see before by using visual literacy tools. And lots of people were really excited to be able to add more to their own drawings and be more intentional to share the meaning of their work with other viewers. So let's give it a try. This is Safety Patrol from Bisa Butler, and it's actually a fabric quilt. I'm going to give you a little bit of time now to soak in the power of this piece of art. Think to yourself, what do you notice? What do you wonder? What questions do you have? I'll give you a minute. Now, let's take Bisa Butler's Safety Patrol as an example to get to know visual literacies a little bit better. If we dig deeper into some of the most important tools of visual literacies, we learn more about character and mood. In terms of character, visual literacies help us to pay key attention to people's facial expressions to their language, both verbal and physical, and to the location where they are or positioning on the page, or in Bisa Butler's case, on the fabric. So if we look back at our image and think about the facial expressions of the children in the image, the positioning, how they're located, or body language, we might be able to tell a little bit more. Take a look again. What do you notice now? Visual literacies also help us with mood. The color tells us a lot about what we might feel. Zooming in or out helps us understand what to pay attention to. Whether things are really small or quite large can tell us what the author feels is valuable. Even metaphors can be at play with visual literacies. Let's take a look again at Bisa Butler's Safety Patrol and get some more clues. Do you notice anything different now? Are your visual literacy tools helping you learn more about Safety Patrol? Using our visual literacy tools to see again, we notice a lot of new things. Some of my friends noticed some worried faces on the characters. Others keyed in on the gray-white background and brilliant colors of the characters that draw you into that middle of the piece. Others wondered about the character in the front, who seems to be slightly bigger and with his arms splayed out, possibly protecting the children behind him. Some people even connected to the title, Safety Patrol, and noticed that character in the middle has a sash on that maybe is part of his uniform to protect the children behind him. Visual literacies help us see things new with more detail, and things that we know with new eyes. Before the next video, I encourage you to look at something you've seen before, whether it's a piece of art, a favorite book, or something in your life, and see if you can't use some of those visual literacy tools to see them differently, to notice something more. For more questions and information on visual literacies, be sure to contact the Evanston Art Center at www.evanstonartcenter.org. See you next time, where we take a familiar text and see it again through the power of visual literacies.